Your cat is staring at you right now, and somewhere inside that ancient calculating brain, the concept of human being simply does not exist. That's not a metaphor, that's neuroscience. And once you understand it, every single interaction you've ever had with your cat will look completely different. Most cat owners spend years living with their pet while missing the signals that animal sends every single day. Not because the cat isn't communicating, but because we have no idea what channel to tune into. By the time this video ends, you will. Let's start with the truth that changes everything. 1. Your cat has filed you, under large clumsy fellow cat. Here's a question most people never think to ask. Why doesn't your cat act like a dog? No frantic sprint to the door when you get home. No desperate hunger for your approval. No constant eye contact begging for a gold star. Most people blame the cat. Cold, aloof, emotionally unavailable, but that reading is completely wrong. Animal behaviourist Dr. John Bradshaw spent years studying how domestic cats navigate their social world, and what he found reframes everything. Dogs were shaped by thousands of years of co-evolution with humans. They developed a genuinely distinct behavioural category for us. They learned to follow our gaze, interpret our pointing fingers, and treat us as something separate and authoritative. Cats never made that leap. When your cat presses their forehead into your chin, shadows you from room to room, or needs your lap with the kind of focused commitment usually reserved for important tasks, they're running the exact same social software they would use with another cat. In their internal model of the world, you are not a different species. You're not an owner, you're not something to be obeyed. You're simply the largest, most baffling member of their colony, and they have accepted you completely anyway. That might genuinely be the most wholehearted form of acceptance any living thing can offer another. But here's where it becomes extraordinary. That foundational belief that you belong in their world doesn't just shape how your cat greets you, it reaches all the way into their nervous system and rewires something much deeper. There's a study from 2019 we're going to get to later in this video that proved it in a way that genuinely surprised researchers. Stay with us. 2. That dead gift is not gross. It is a rescue mission. Your cat struts in, he deposits something unfortunate at your feet, a mouse, a half-stunned bird, a beetle of suspicious size, and then sits back with the air of someone who just solved a major problem. Your instinct is probably not gratitude, but consider what's actually happening. In the wild, mother cats don't simply feed their young, they educate them. They return from hunts carrying prey, sometimes deceased, sometimes still very much alive, and they use it to teach survival. It is one of the most sustained acts of dedicated parenting in the animal kingdom. When your cat does this with you, they're activating that same ancient, deeply wired program. And in this scenario, you are the one being educated. They have studied your daily behaviour. You don't stalk anything. You don't crouch behind furniture waiting for your moment. You walk directly to a large cold box, open it, and food materialises. From a cat's perspective, you are catastrophically unprepared for life outside that kitchen. So they have appointed themselves your survival coach. Dead prey is the full demonstration. Prey that still moves is the hands-on tutorial. And if your cat is an indoor cat who regularly drops a toy at your feet and then stares at you with focused expectation, that is the apartment's safe version of the exact same impulse. One distinction worth noting. If your cat delivers something and then goes very still, watching you with that patient, evaluating gaze, that's the lesson. If they drop it and immediately bounce with energy, looking between you and the object, that's an invitation to play. Both are meaningful. Both carry the same underlying message. Out of everything in their world, they chose you for this. Now, the next point involves one of the strangest evolutionary adaptations ever recorded in a domesticated animal. And it started as many remarkable things do with a baby calling for its mother. 3. Your cat cannot see your face. Clearly, but they know exactly who you are. Hold your hand 6 inches from your cat's nose. To them, it is a warm, softly lit smear of colour, a suggestion of a hand rather than an actual one. Cats have genuinely poor near-field vision. Anything within roughly 10 inches of their face goes out of focus almost entirely, and even at greater distances the world arrives softer and less detailed than what human eyes deliver. Colours are muted, edges are approximate, which means that face you press hopefully toward your cat, that close-up moment of connection, is not something they can actually see with any precision. But do not mistake can't see your face for doesn't know you completely. Those two things are not related at all. What your cat has built over every shared day is a full-body sensory portrait of you, the specific rhythm of your footsteps, the exact pitch and cadence of your voice, the layered, irreplaceable scent that is you and nothing else. These are the data points that matter. These are what they carry. Your cat doesn't hold a picture of you in their mind. They carry the entire feeling of you. And here is where their visual limitations reveal something remarkable in exchange. What cats give up in visual sharpness, they gain back in motion detection that borders on eerie. The faintest twitch of a finger across the room, a shadow that shifted half an inch. They register all of it constantly without effort. So if your cat is staring with total focus at what appears to be an empty corner, don't assume something is wrong. Assume they clocked something your eyes had absolutely no chance of catching. 4. The meow was invented. Specifically for you adult cats, do not meow at other cats. It is simply not part of how they communicate with each other. Kittens meow at their mothers. It's a survival signal, a way to say I'm hungry, I'm cold, I need you right now. Then they grow up, and the sound largely disappears from their toolkit as they shift to body language, scent, and posture. But something unusual starts happening when a cat moves in with humans. They figured out, probably within the first few days, that you cannot read body language at all. You miss the slow blink that communicates trust. You walk past the tail signal that means I am reaching my limit. You are, from a feline communication standpoint, almost completely illiterate, so they adapted. They reached back into their earliest memories and revived the one sound that reliably gets a human's attention. That kitten call, retooled, repurposed, aimed at you. And then, this is the part that genuinely fascinates researchers, they customized it. Over time, your cat develops a specific personalized vocabulary with you. The sound they make when they want breakfast is measurably different from the sound that means, come sit with me, which is entirely different from the sound at 3 a.m. that has no clear explanation but feels urgent anyway. Studies show that people who live with cats become meaningfully better at reading their own cat's vocalizations than at reading the calls of a stranger's cat. You and your cat built something together, a private language, a code that lives only between the two of you. That meow does not exist in the wild. It was created because your cat decided you were worth inventing a whole language for. Which brings us to the final point. And honestly, it's the one that will stay with you. 5. You are the reason. They can finally let go. Have you ever watched a cat who seemed tightly wound? Ears forward, tail moving slowly, eyes scanning the room. Go completely still and soft the exact moment you walked in. That is not convenience. That is attachment. In 2019, researchers at Oregon State University published a study that genuinely caught the scientific community off guard. The design was simple. Bring a cat into an unfamiliar space with their owner, remove the owner for 2 minutes, then bring them back. What they observed was not what most people expected. More than 60% of the cats displayed what psychologists call a secure attachment style, the same bonding pattern that appears in human infants with their primary caregivers. When their owner returned, the cat, visibly decompressed, began exploring the space and settled into calm. Without their owner present, they had been tense, vocal, and unable to rest. Same emotional architecture, same deep wiring, the kind of bond scientists typically associate with a parent and a very young child. And remember, this is the same animal we established at the very start sees you as just another cat, a peer, a colony member. That colony member is also their entire sense of safety. You do not need to be a perfect communicator. You do not need to decipher every signal. You do not need to earn this through grand gestures or expensive enrichment. You simply need to show up. Because your presence, just you, walking into the room, is the cue that tells your cat's entire nervous system, you can put it all down now. It's safe. You can rest. Your cat has never once seen you as their owner, never once seen you as a caretaker or a keeper. They saw you as home from the very beginning. If this video shifted something in how you see your relationship with your cat, please give it a like and subscribe to Cat's Curio. We're here every week unpacking the science and wonder hidden inside your cat's world, and there is so much more to uncover.